You are listening to the Jimmy Tebeau Show on KKID 92.9 FM, Salem, Raleigh.
That's right. We're back, everybody. Once again, this is our 10th show, the Jimmy Tebeau Show. Yes, I'm Jimmy Tebeau, your host. Thank you. I'll be driving the ship for the next 2 hours. We're going to be telling stories. We're going to be playing music. We're going to be talking about even politics today a little bit. In the house with us, of course, every week, Steve Wheeler at the controls. Welcome back, Steve. He's great at the commentary as well. And over there on the sound effects, we've got Mr. Mohawk, the dubstep DJ. Sound effects man. Yes. And all the way from across town here in Raleigh, Daniel Jones, Ward 1 council member.
Hey, right. Thanks for having me, Jimmy.
He's back. And from the Phelps County Focus, Andrew Sheely.
Hey, Jimmy.
Journalist, investigative reporter. Calls it as he sees it.
There you go. Come on.
Right. We're going to be talking about all kinds of stuff. I got some stories. You know, the swag went to Dallas over the weekend, so... and Mohawk was with us. We've got some stories to tell, you know, and the storms were chasing us back, and we all saw what happened over the weekend.
Wow.
With the storm.
Wow,
so,
coming up through Oklahoma and stuff?
Yeah,
wow.
You've heard of storm chasers. We were the opposite of a storm chaser.
Wow.
Now, can you tell the Mohawk stories on the air? I don't know.
After he told those lewd jokes last week, we're kind of taking another look at it. Although he said he has some more jokes. We don't know how much cleaner they are. But so the big topic, Phelps County Focus, there's a big story that took up a whole page. That's like, what, 20,000 words?
That's a lot of page.
That's a lot of page. That's right.
What the headline, ruling on medical marijuana dispensary locations heading for June 3rd vote. What is the story? Isn't that by Andrew Sheely? And that's you.
That's me.
What's the story here?
Well, the City Council is taking up the issue of marijuana, specifically medical marijuana dispensaries and where they're going to be located in the city of Raleigh. The current debate is whether or not they're going to be allowed within a certain amount of space of a church, a school, or a daycare facility.
So is that the... So that includes the downtown area, I suppose.
Well, it could include downtown. State law, as it's written, says that they cannot be within 1,000 feet of any of these, right? But there's a provision in that says local jurisdictions can set whatever rules they want. Now, different cities have done different things. In St. Louis, they've done a 0-foot setback. You can put a dispensary wherever you want.
Like even right next to a church or a school.
And that's a big city, but smaller towns have done that as well. Kirksville, Missouri has a 0-foot setback. Other towns have had 500 feet. Some towns have had 300 feet. Waynesville, just this week, is establishing a 300-foot setback. So this is the issue confronting Raleigh. Are we going to have a 0-foot setback? Are we going to have a 100-foot setback, which would be the standard for liquor stores and bars? Or are we going to have a 300-foot setback, which is what City Administrator John Butts has proposed? Or are we going to have a 500-foot setback, which is what the city's Planning and Zoning Commission is officially recommending? All right. Now, this gets very key because at 300 feet, half of Pine Street is open, right? At 500 feet, none of Pine Street is open to a dispensary. At 500 feet, the only intersection, according to John Butts, that you'll be able to have a dispensary is at the corner of, I believe, 6th Street and where the railroad is. That's the only intersection under the 500-foot proposal that would be allowed to have a dispensary at it.
Right. Well, it's good to revitalize a downtown area to keep these, you know, across America in any small town, even downtown cities, to keep those environments going. And sometimes you put in different businesses and structure things to where everything's okay. I don't think anyone in Raleigh wants to put a dispensary right next to a church or anything. You know.
And so what we're talking about extensively is we're talking about, is it going to be 300 feet? Is it going to be 500 feet? Is it going to be 0 feet? Now, the essence, the underlying subtext of what we're talking about is downtown Raleigh. Is a dispensary going to be allowed in downtown Raleigh or not? Now, at Planning and Zoning, they put 500 feet on the table because it became clear it wouldn't be allowed downtown. Some folks feel strongly that one should be allowed downtown, specifically Peace of Mind, which is located at 307 Pine Street. They have announced to us, Phelps County Focus, that they intend to submit an application to be one of these dispensaries.
Right, which is a lot of upfront money to apply.
The
from what
owner
I've
said
heard.
he has invested $24,000 in application fees. And that's not specific to Rolla, but as part of his overall venture.
Right.
Right, because he has stores in other cities as well, and has that. So worst case scenario is you got to move the retail brick and mortar.
He did tell me that even if a 500-foot or a greater setback is established, he does still plan to put a dispensary in Rolla. But along the way, after this planning and zoning debate, after the public hearing on Monday, which was the exact opposite of the planning and zoning hearing, we will know come Monday, June 3rd, when the final vote is held.
Oh,
So now, who's allowed to vote? Is it the city council voting on it, or is it a voting for the public?
It'll be city council vote.
Okay, all right. And there's what, 10 members on the city, 12 members,
12.
12. All right. So, and we do have Daniel Jones here, and in lieu of everything going on, you kind of got drug in the middle of it because you're on the city council and you happen to just work in a part-time position at Peace of Mind.
Yeah, I do.
Which got you accused of being biased for the whole thing to be downtown because you have a stake, financially to prosper from. So give us your opinion on where you stand on that.
Well, first off, I stand with the cannabis industry also, along with my ward. I believe that downtown is the heart of Rolla. And when I think about the heart of Rolla, I think about all the people that walk around down there and live in those areas, those pocket neighborhoods all around downtown. And when I think about medicine, I think about accessibility. And then I think, what's the best place for all those people who are on foot or live in that area close to all the shopping and everything? That's accessibility is important, and those patients need to be as close to that medicine as possible. Not to mention, every place where these dispensaries open up their doors revitalizes the heck out of the area they're from.
Right.
You see everything from coffee houses to music venues to cupcake shops to everything you can imagine.
So the price of real estate going up.
Normal National Organization for the Reform of Marijuana Laws just put out a big study that was done, and I don't think it was done by Normal, but somebody else, that actually said that the rates of housing actually skyrocket around these things.
Right.
I don't see the controversy at all. And when I do hear the controversy, it's usually steeped in something a little more murky than that, like we don't have parking or things like that. And all I think is, well, those are problems that we should certainly overcome also. So if somebody's going to venture into downtown with a business like that, I would expect them to be concerned about that also. And with that, I'd say let the industry do its work. Let it come in and revitalize.
Right. Well, I mean, that's kind of a lame excuse to say about the parking, where it's like, if there was something else coming in that was going to, quote unquote, bring that many people down to downtown and in and out of the other stores along the avenue and different things, you wouldn't be complaining about the parking for that.
The way some of these folks respond to cannabis, and I find that it's really, really steeped in just archaic, unjust stigma, really. But what I find most with these folks is that they don't realize that these shops are going to be, they're like a clinic. You're going to walk in, you're going to see a doctor. There's no way for your children to get around it. It's going to be packaged. It's going to be out the door into your house. But while you're downtown, you may want to have lunch or go shop at a boutique or things like that. We don't want to say no to that kind of revitalization, especially right now. We need more streams of revenue in this town. We literally don't have enough police to police our streets. We're running into all kinds of issues. I don't have a tree downtown to look at. We need money in this town.
Right.
And for anybody to say that we want to say no to extra streams of revenue, ridiculous.
Well, if you think about it from that point, I'm sitting here thinking about, well, let's see. CVS, I'm sure they're within a certain amount of district from, say, the Mission and different things like that, and you go there to get your prescriptions and stuff like that.
Walgreens is parked right up next to that church. They might as well be sharing the same building.
I guess you're right there too.
Those pharmacies put out 86 pills per man, woman, and child in Phelps County in that little bit of time. That's scary to me. That we didn't have people freaking out when we started loading this town up with pharmacies. Now we have an opioid problem that's stealing the innocence right out from underneath us, and we're coming to you with answers. opioid-related deaths and overdoses in these areas that start these med pot laws drop by upwards to 30%.
That's right.
Damn the money involved. Let's start saving lives.
Well, maybe that's what they're worried about, is these guys are going to start losing revenue, and they've given them all these, incentives to come in and build their multi-million-dollar places and stuff like that. And now, there's going to be a change.
that stigma gets harsh. Just at the city council meeting, if you watch the video, you'll see one of the council members yell at me about, next we're going to legalize mushrooms on Pine Street. And that's the kind of things that I'm dealing with here. It's like,
yeah.
At what point are we going to start to get a little bit of education and start to realize that Amendment 2 didn't hurt us? It's here to help.
Right.
Daniel, I'm curious. Now, are you willing to accept any compromise? I'm going to put my reporter hat on here for a second, but, the proposal was put forward at the last city council meeting of a 300-foot. Now, how dedicated are you to a 0-foot, or are you willing to compromise 100 or 300?
I'll put it to you like this, Andrew. I'm 100% here for the city council and this city and my constituents. I personally believe we should not treat this new industry unfairly and be unwelcoming to it by not treating it like the pharmacies that are basically what it is. Let's treat it just like those. Would I get upset over a 100-foot buffer? I think that any buffer between a patient and his medicine is a bad buffer. However, if 100 feet is what they want, if 200 feet is what the council wants, if 300 feet is what they vote in, then so be it. But I certainly don't think that we should tell the industry to keep your butt off our Pine Street. We need our Main Street and we need our medicine.
Now, Ward 1, that's also covers downtown, correct?
Correct.
I am attuned to the fact that recently we had a candy store on Pine Street which closed. It was replaced by a smoke shop, which is directly next to Kaleidoscope. It's door to door with Kaleidoscope. And I don't know those folks. They may be good people. I don't care. But have you got any complaints about that smoke shop being next to the Kaleidoscope?
Not a single one. I haven't received a complaint from anybody down there. I'm not even a little bit. The way I think about that too is our zoning already restricts everything to its own function, to its own area. Why wouldn't we let our zoning work? I would go to say that if a church wants to be on Pine Street, that's fine. I understand that's going to be an area for retail, but I don't think that we should say no to this industry just because a church moves itself into a retail space. Mm-hmm. That certainly seems obstructive to me.
Me being a musician, traveling around the country to these different, sometimes we play these obscure small towns and then a lot of big cities, but we end up in these nightclubs that used to be a downtown, like, high volume retail space. But as the city grew and the Walmarts came in and the suburbia came about, those places end up closing. Then the building would be vacant for a while. Then the rent would get cheap enough to where somebody could rent it, apply for a liquor license if they could get one where that downtown area is. And I've talked to a number of these club owners and I'm like, how did you get the old Woolworths in downtown Des Moines? And they're like, oh, the hurdles we had to jump, to get the zoning right, just to get the liquor license. There's this place in Des Moines called Woolies that we play. It's the old Woolworths downtown.
Cool.
But the different, even in smaller towns that we play, it's kind of the same thing. The rent drops because the retail space isn't there, but here's this big open space, put a stage in it, get a bar. And then here's an area that didn't used to be a spot for bars, but then something like this moved in. And then that place was successful. And then the empty little shoe store across the street, someone rents that and puts a different themed bar. And then another and another, then it's a little downtown entertainment district, and then some shops pop up, and then the whole downtown area gets revitalized. I've seen that happen in Rock Island, Illinois. We work up there at the Rock Island Brewing Company, and Terry Tilka bought some of that first real estate. He went in, he was pretty smart. He went in and bought the old buildings and just kind of, bought the old buildings cheap, 2 or 3 of them right in a row. And those used to be retail spaces. And then he rehabbed them and then opened up. He's got a live music bar in 2 of them. Then he's got a dance club in the 3rd one. And he took me in this 3rd one in the basement and showed me that some of the old, because I was there when he acquired, he ultimately acquired that 3rd building later after we were playing up there almost every other month. We've been going up there 25 years now. But when he got that, he took me in the basement and says, Jimmy, check this out. And there was some old gambling tables from it used to be an old speakeasy, and apparently Al Capone would run across. Rock Island's right there by Davenport, so cool. that place was part of Al Capone's speakeasy network. Where you had the knock on the door and the little thing slides over, and you say the password, and then you go down and legally gamble. And probably during Prohibition, that's where you of course, you got your liquor. So liquor, gambling, perhaps prostitution, or whatever. But Terry told me, and then when we were playing down there, he was one of the only buildings that was alive. But over time, I've seen a number of clubs pop up. Now just about every space is rented out. So it's neat to kind of see this grow. Now down here in Rolla, perhaps a dispensary downtown could encourage more traffic. And well, probably, of course it would, because people would be coming down to it, and maybe it would be more of an entertainment mecca.
There's a lot of people willing to bet on it.
Now, Peace of Mind, are you able to speak about what the specific plans are at that facility?
I know that the plans are constantly changing. You'd probably have to talk to the owners. I don't see them as much as I'd probably like to.
Okay.
It's been a busy few weeks, so I haven't really had a lot of time to converse. But I do know that if they get the license, that's where they're trying to put a dispensary.
It will be at that 703 Pine.
I believe that they would end up taking and parting the building into two areas there.
Okay.
Because Peace of Mind would be its own thing. Obviously, you can't have the two businesses operating together.
Okay. Now, what wasn't discussed at the last city council meeting was your decriminalization proposal.
That's right.
Do we have any news on that?
What we have right now is our city lawyers are looking at it to make sure all the legalities are fine with it. But people have done this before us, so I don't expect any disqualifications whatsoever. The next step would be to present that to the council, and then we'll have a public hearing on it, and then we'll put it to vote.
So it'll be the same process we're going through right now.
You betcha.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's any process needs to stay the same. I think it should all be fair and exact.
I think a lot of people are wondering what's next. You seem to have a lot of ideas. You have any others?
Well, we got Tree City coming up. We've got tiny homes for our homeless coming up. We've got dog shelters and animal shelters to build. We've got a senior center we need to get up. We've got a lot of things happening all at once. I feel like this is going to be the summer where we get a lot of answers about a lot of the issues that the city has been looking at. That's the thing with the brand new city council. It's going to have brand new ideas and brand new directions, and I hope that the town has some brand new excitement about that.
So tell me a little bit more about this tiny homes.
Well, that's something I think the Mission has been talking about. I'm pretty excited. I heard about it, that council person at the Mission, Marie Allen, she's got some ideas about the direction that our Mission and our homeless shelter should take. And everybody knows that the homeless shelter downtown has a little bit of a proximity issue. It's kind of in a spot that's pretty awkward for everybody at times. Well, everybody knows that, including the Mission. And the idea is to graduate from that, to find something better, new, maybe less expensive, different ways to do things. There's a lot of different things happening all over the country with these tiny home villages that are helping these folks out of addiction and help them get out of the muck that can be regular life.
So is that something you would want to keep inside of the city limits?
Of course I would. I think Rolla should embrace any kind of new ideas like that. I think that's something that not only should we embrace it, we should tout it and scream to the world, hey, we're doing the right things now.
Right. Where would you see a lot, quote unquote, I'm kind of envisioning this in my mind as you're speaking about it and stuff. And
that's the tough part about it is the city's looked at all kinds of areas around Rolla, and there just isn't any place that's going to satisfy everyone. So it kind of comes down to what's going to be best for those folks without impacting the community in a negative fashion. Right. And I think there's some answers out there. I think that's what's so important about Marie Allen over there in Ward 4 taking the reign on this. I think it's going to be wonderful to see.
Very cool.
Ward 5, excuse me.
All right.
That sounds good. It's the Jimmy Tebeau show, and we're going semi-political today.
Yeah.
A little bit later in the show, religion. We'll be tackling religion. I'm joking. No, these are current issues. This is the Phelps County Focus, and
excuse me.
Wait a minute, that's tomorrow's date. Did this come out today?
We print them a day early.
Holy,
you got
we're
it.
seeing
You got
the
it.
future.
Flashbacks, Jimmy. Flashbacks, man. Come on.
Okay, we're back. Oh gosh, it still says Thursday. No, but
it's
for real
Wednesday.
though. Phelps County Focus. This gets printed and distributed all over the county. How many issues a week? It's a weekly, right?
A lot. I know we.
There's like 10 or 20,000 of these go out, isn't there?
You'd have to ask our advertising.
7 million copies worldwide. No, this is Phelps
Seen
County.
around the world on the web too.
No, that's right, because there is a big online presence. You can subscribe to it.
I can tell you when we had the Bears in town a couple of weeks ago, we reached in excess of 100,000 people.
That is
Whoa.
awesome. That is way cool.
Wow,
We need more bears in town.
No kidding.
That's good stuff.
Now, where were they sighted at? In Rolla?
The south outskirts. So it's ironic. There was actually there was a bear sighting in Rolla, and then there was a bear sighting the same week in Salem.
Yeah, they got they had that. Did they get him out of the tree, or did he
He's
come
up-
down and then they caught
They
him?
got him down from the tree with donuts and bacon.
Ooh, okay, a live bear. Come on,
See,
little bear.
munchies can save the world.
A live bear story here on that's
in
a first.
Salem.
In Salem.
Oh my
That's
gosh,
wild.
wild.
Locally. Big stuff.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
do we got to take a break?
So-
It's 20
Yeah, we should take a quick break now. Do you have anything you want to just come back? or
Oh,
you
we're
got
gonna
a song
come
you
back.
wanna
Oh, yeah,
play?
we got more things to talk
okay,
about.
All right. Well, then we are ready to take a quick break. You're listening to the Jimmy Tebeau Show right here on K-Kid. Going to take a quick look at the weather and check in with our sponsors.
You are listening to the Jimmy Tebeau Show on KKRD 92.9 FM.
Are we back?
We are back.
Oh my gosh, we're back. It's the Jimmy Tebeau Show. And we're having fun once again. You know,
That's
this
right.
happens every Wednesday, 5 o'clock to 7 o'clock, live
right.
here. And we've been videotaping the show, editing it, and publishing it. You know, it gets on the KKID Facebook page. We just put a new episode up yesterday. We're about a week and a half behind on editing them. It takes a lot of work.
It is a lot of work.
You're a busy man.
Well, it'd be neat if we could figure out how to mix it. It's 4 cameras, so it takes a while to put it together. But this week's show is kind of fun. We went political right off the bat, and Andrew Shealy was here. He just took off the writer for the Phelps County Focus.
He's an
here.
award-winning journalist.
He is. It was
is.
cool that he came in. He does a lot of stories in there. He's been in here once before, and is a weekly writer in there. He has some great stuff. So
Yeah.
it was cool that he's been reporting on what's going on here in the Rolla and Phelps County area.
There you
know,
go. He
report-
reminds you of Superman, though, doesn't he? I
Oh,
mean, the
like-
way he's just so mild and not very outspoken and different things like that,
Yeah.
but give him something to write about. And, buddy, man, he'll let you know.
And he is
Superhero.
quick, too. I've
Yep.
seen him launch out of those meetings and have something up in 30 minutes. You know, I was a combat photojournalist in the military, and one thing I can spot a good journalist, man. He
Yeah.
got to have been in combat with that guy.
Wow.
He'd get me out.
Well,
Wow.
because he comes to the city council meetings.
He does when there's going to be a good one.
Okay, and he was there. Apparently, this week was a big one.
Yeah, it was a pretty rambunctious one.
That's what I heard, and it's cool that you guys came in to talk about it because it is big local news. It's like what's going on, and the big thing is Rolla's getting a dispensary, right? It's going to happen. Now it's just a matter of where.
Yeah,
Right.
Correct.
You bet.
Right.
Is it going to be down on Pine Street, which would perhaps help revitalize that area and increase the property values and such and traffic down there, or is it going to be moved just out of that area?
We're not planting a pot plant on every corner of Pine Street. We just
Apparently I've been to Denver and San Francisco, and I've seen these dispensaries, and you really got to look to kind of tell that it's a dispensary. It's
Yeah.
not like there's big marijuana leaves or
They got the little, like, green teas and red teas if they're medical or recreational.
that industry really respects the folks around it.
Right.
I've
Always
seen a lot
has.
of tinted windows for sure, so you
Yeah.
can't really see what's going on.
Oh, no, you can't see what's going on. And just like we had talked about that in the past, as far as when you walk in, you have to actually show them your ID. You have to be, buzzed into the actual dispensary aspect of the store. It's just not like you walk in the front door and, there it is. Now, although I've seen some other videos of some places out in Las Vegas, in the mall out there.
Well, Las Vegas is loud. No matter, that's, a candy shop up there is going to look like a casino. So I mean, I don't really gauge that. Use that.
Right. No, the dispensaries I've been to in Denver, in San Francisco, in California, in Oregon, is you walk in and you're in a waiting room.
Right.
Absolutely. You're not seeing it. It's a waiting room with like seats and chairs, and there's a guy there. Just like you're going to the doctor. You check in. You're like, "Hi, I'm like to, purchase blah blah blah."
My favorite.
And they ask you for your ID, and they make sure you're age is 21 and up or something.
Yep.
And then if that's cool, then they're like, have a seat, and then you wait your turn, and then they
because they only allow so many in at a time.
And you go in there, and you're one-on-one
with the bud tender.
The bud tender, that's correct. And they show you the different. No, you're not allowed to actually touch the product.
No, you're not.
I learned that the hard way. I almost got my hand slapped.
I did.
You did get your hand slapped.
Don't touch it. It's like, oh, okay.
No.
It's like he goes, now, would you want anybody touching your steak after it was just placed on your table? I said, no. He goes, okay.
Well, that's the Missouri state law says that you have to hire a hand slapper for every dispensary.
Really?
It's a hard job. Yeah.
Wow. My hands up.
Wow.
Whoop, my hands down. Whoop, my hands up. Whoop, my hands down.
That happened to our drummer at Gates Barbecue in Kansas City because they're pretty aggressive there. It's almost like the soup Nazi. When have you seen the soup Nazi episode from Seinfeld?
Absolutely.
Yeah, at Gates Barbecue in Texas or in Kansas City, it's kind of like that. They'll slap your hand, kind of like
that's hilarious.
If you don't do the right thing.
That's hilarious.
But it was hilarious. I told them exactly what to do because these are some big black women that are at Gates Barbecue, and they're yelling at you when you walk in. They're like, "How may I help you?" And that's their catchphrase. It's on their napkin. It says, "Hi, may I help you?" And you got to yell, "Beef on a bun to stay," or whatever. I mean, they're limited. Or burnt ends to stay. You got to say to stay because they're gonna want to know if it's to go. If it's not to go, you say to stay.
Right.
So it's our drummer's first time in there, and I tell him all this. I'm like, "Man, we've had people fail and do this because you'll go hungry if you don't do it right." He's like, "Pay attention." And we got in, and the line's 2 or 3 deep, but they kind of yell at you as 2 or 3 deep back.
Right.
Yeah, and he doesn't realize that. So they yell at me, and I yell out my order, and he's kind of confused. And then they yell at him, "Hi, may I help you?" And I nudge, I elbow him, like, "Order." And I already told him what to order. He wasn't too sure what it was. I told him burnt ends. It's a burnt end sandwich. It's delicious. It's where they take the rib meat and chop it up with this cleaver, and they do this little... It's almost like a paradiddle they're doing with
so he got lost in the rhythm is what happened.
Well, he's a drummer, and I don't know. He's semi-choked, but then he yelled it out, and then we get up there, and then there's cups behind the counter, and they ask if you want a drink, and you tell them, yeah, but they get to drink. And he's reaching across the counter to grab the cup, and she slaps his hand pretty hard, like I'm going to do that. She said something, but it was so funny that the drummer's hand got actually slapped. But that's when I flashed back when I was at these dispensaries when I touched it for the first time, and she didn't slap my hand, but I flashed back to that day at Gates Barbecue. It was funny.
Yes. Yep. No.
But dispensaries in Rolla, holy cow, they're coming. Whether they're going to be downtown or not. I think it'd be cool if it was downtown.
And see, still in District 8, there's only been 19 applications. Now, I don't know whether they've been for, dispensaries. It's not broken down of what.
No, it's 19 in dispensaries. Out of 24 so far, yeah.
Out of 24. Mm-hmm. Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah.
And there's, so then let me ask you this. If there's 24 dispensaries that are going to be allocated into District 8, is it based off of population density? I mean, is Rolla affordable? I mean, is it
so the way I think about it is District 8, the population centers consist of Cape Girardeau and Rolla, right?
Right.
So, I mean, really, whichever one is going to look like it's more accepting to the industry, of course, is going to get probably more dispensaries. And so it's just, if you're going to operate one of these dispensaries, it's not like you're going to land it out in population 200 Missouri. You're going to put it where the population center is and where people can get to that medicine.
Exactly. Especially down here, And when you take a look at the congressional district map, District 8 is a third of the state.
Yeah, it's
it's
no joke.
huge. So like you said, how is that going to, with 24 dispensaries? Where are they going to wind up at,
Not to mention, keep in mind that Phelps County is on that line of the 8th Congressional District, so it's not like it's not going to pick up business from other places. We're looking at some serious revenue for taxes here.
when you think about it from that standpoint, because it is, Gasconade County and well, they're just, okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Maybe more entertainment will come to Rolla.
Yep.
Oh, you know what I wanted to mention? Speaking of entertainment in Rolla, tonight over at the Tater Patch, they're having a big, I think it's the grand finale of a singing contest.
Right.
Now, this isn't karaoke. I talked to Rob over there, and he clarified that these people, they're really singing, of course, but it's not like it's live musicians backing them up. But it's the best of the area, and there's a $1,000 cash prize or something for the. So that's a big hoop-de-doo that I wanted to shout out there if anyone's doing anything. And I think it starts at 7 p.m. It's not a late thing. And I believe the kitchen's open till 9 or 10. So you can get some of them good
food over there.
Good food.
Man, no doubt.
I like their tater tots. But yeah, live in Rolla. But then down there on Pine Street, there used to be a theater that we played there.
Remember the Uptown? Oh my gosh,
it's not there anymore. I remember.
We did a few shows there together, Jimmy. Man, back in the day and stuff like that.
KKID presents at the theater, because there was one or two different people that. It's another thing where they took over an old building, got a liquor license, where that originally wasn't. Selling beer, they were selling popcorn and tickets, soda for when was that built? 1940 or something?
No, I think that was built back in the 20s.
Before people had TV and not everyone had radios. Or whatever.
Right. What was the guy's name out there who had the auto museums of yesteryears? George Carney. George Carney's family is the one who built that theater back when because they pretty much settled Rolla. George Carney, his girlfriend was Ellie Mae Clampett.
Oh wow!
And out there past the highway patrol, what is that? Sea Highway or what is that out there past the highway patrol? Mm-hmm. You know where I'm talking about, though, on the other side of the highway. He had a bunch of land out there, and he was building a little mini Silver Dollar City for Ellie Mae Clampett, and then he ended up getting cancer and dying, and he owned all that land right there where like Big O Tire is and all that kind of stuff, and his son got the property and sold it all and moved to Florida. His son actually works for Disney as a graphic designer, so pretty wild, but yeah.
That is fascinating.
There's a lot of history on Pine Street.
There really is.
You know what bothers me is people are like, oh, we wouldn't put a pharmacy on Pine Street. Well, in fact, we did. Hillcrest sat there for decades.
You're
that was
exactly
it was kind of the heart of
You're
downtown.
Exactly right.
My grandfather had a photography studio that was built way back in the back of that. I kind of grew up in that building.
Yeah, that was right there on 10th Street, wasn't it? Yeah.
It's good to have what's known as an anchor business, some kind of big, solid business that's definitely going to draw people down for the other ones, and you don't want to lose that.
Wouldn't a dispensary do that?
Well, So he was talking about 500 feet. So if it's 500 feet, what building is he talking about that's going to be within the city limits?
Something down there by the train tracks. I heard. I think maybe the Planning and Zoning Commission, I think, maybe wanted it to be on the train, and you had to jump on the train as it was going by to get the medicine and try and jump off. I'm not really sure what they were looking for there.
But jump off after you get out of Phelps County is what you're saying?
It bothers me that Amendment 2 told everybody in Missouri to plan and zone accordingly to protect and add buffers to schools, churches, and daycares. And then our planning and zoning went into it with, well, how do we stop this from happening downtown? Well, that's not what Amendment 2 asked you to do today.
Exactly.
Well, it's cool that we're here talking about, but it's all going to be voted on June 3rd. So it's going to be debated and discussed. And it's cool that here, the newspaper that's technically coming out tomorrow is being discussed today.
June 3rd.
Yeah,
June 3rd
May
is
23rd.
a week from Monday.
Anybody that can be in those seats, it's important for us to all be there because I think it's important to represent this subculture that we have in Rolla.
Right. There you go.
All right. Well, I was going to tell a story because it's the continuing saga and adventures of the band The Schwag. We've been together 28 years now. Played over 3,000 shows. Thank you.
Yes.
And we live to tell the tale. It's kind of amazing. I don't know why we keep doing it, because we like to. This past weekend took us to Dallas, Texas, where we played Gas Monkey live. Mohawk went with us. Remember that?
Yeah. I was there. It was pretty
We
wild.
were totally there.
Do you remember? Do you remember Mohawk?
I remember what I do remember were the storms heading down. Actually, the weather was pretty nice all up until when we left, and then the storms hit. But yeah, I had a good time.
We played at Gas Monkey Live, which some people might be familiar with. Gas Monkey Garage, a popular cable TV show. Actually, it's called Fast and Loud, I believe. And it's based around the Gas Monkey Garage, which apparently restores cars, and that became a quite popular show. And they opened a bar restaurant called the Gas Monkey Garage, which we got to eat dinner at, actually, which was cool. But across the street, well, they run bands there at the restaurant. It's a smaller venue, holds 200 people, outdoor stage. But across the street, and this is all in Dallas, Texas, not downtown, but just on the outskirts within the city limits, apparently, because the mailing address said Dallas. We set it in the GPS. It took us there. It took us about 10 hours, by the way. Left St. Louis, did a one-off. We were in a 24-foot truck and a 9-passenger van, and we went light. There was only 5 of us.
Yeah.
The 4
It was
band
a light
members
load.
of Mohawk.
It was easy.
Because the place we're playing was called Gas Monkey Live. Due to the success of the bar restaurant, small club, Gas Monkey Garage, they created the Gas Monkey Live, which looked like it used to be. Here we're talking earlier about revitalizing old buildings and repurposing them. This was an old movie theater, a multiplex movie theater that probably had 8 cinemas in it. And they just knocked down all the walls and made it one big, huge room.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Didn't it hold like 2,000 people? Or
Yeah,
something?
it was massive in there.
We're like, holy cow, we're not worthy. Huge Mongo video wall on the stage, at the back of the stage, then 2 video walls suspended from the flown from the tall ceiling and next to the big flown line array PA system. This was, you can tell somebody with a lot of money put their time and effort into this, and hired major consultants, because even at the restaurant, it was real professional, real fast. Even from the second we got there to Gas Monkey Live, it's a tight ship, and we got the gig through. It was one of those gigs that came to us where they called us, and we were asked to be on the bill. It was a 3-band bill: a Doors tribute band, a Led Zeppelin tribute band, and then we finished.
Oh, cool.
And it was a strong lineup. Now, huge room, so of course we need a huge crowd there. I'd rather overfill a small room than underfill a huge room, and it was something like that, because I was looking at the date, and ZZ Top, the biggest Texas band ever, was playing at the Enormo Dome right up the street or something.
Yeah,
The
10 miles down the road.
And I was looking at the schedule for the venue where we were playing, and they were doing mostly like big name heavy metal acts. Like the Winery Dogs were there the night before, Billy Sheehan on bass, guy from Dream Theater on drums or something, and Yngwie Malmsteen was there not too long ago. Guitar virtuoso,
Right.
But Anthrax, groups, whatever, and they've done rap groups there. And then there's this triple bill of this. I'm like, wait a minute. And they like to run music every Friday and Saturday. I'm like, they're kind of using us as filler or whatever, which is fine because the check's cashed and we got to play on a huge stage.
Right.
Now, it wasn't the biggest crowd. We come in here each week going, oh my gosh, we played to a huge crowd this weekend, which has been happening quite a bit here lately. But this wasn't one of them. But the crowd that was there was mighty. They were into it, and they were all the way through. They were yelling out requests to the Doors tribute band, and then we took them on a little adventure. We didn't know if we were going to have to just lay hits on them, but in the middle we got psychedelic. But then the big part of the trip to Dallas, and Mohawk will back me up on this one, was we got to eat at In-N-Out Burger.
Nice.
In-N-Out Burger.
In-N-Out Burger. Now,
Yes.
those that don't know, In-N-Out Burger is a burger chain that is not in Missouri
Nope.
or Illinois.
No.
I've only seen them in California and now apparently Texas.
They're in
Okay.
California, Texas, and the Big Lebowski.
And the big, I've been watching that movie for so long that, I'm just like in and out. It's out in California. I gotta get out there. I gotta get me one of those burgers. And now finally my dream.
They're
has come
good.
true.
They're good burgers. And while we were in there, like we were out, we walked up and we were all excited. There's 5 of us, and I think it was one of the first things we did when we got to town. Actually, wasn't
Yeah.
it? We got to town.
Our room wasn't ready, and they told us that it'd be ready in like about a half hour. So we were like, "Oh, let's go get lunch."
Yeah, so
I was
we-
already queuing it up on GPS.
We looked and we went to In-N-Out Burger and we were so excited, and we took a big band selfie out in front of the place.
Nice.
And I guess the manager saw that. So when we came in, ordered, and sat down, she approached the table. And at first I thought we might have been in trouble because we were a little excited. It's like, oh, it was 2 band members' first time, and they were a little giddy.
Yeah.
Oh, I got you.
Because the menu's extremely limited, and then there's the secret menu involving animal style.
Animal
and,
style.
Oh yeah.
and they're like, "What's a double-double? I don't know what a double-double is. Is that a lot of meat?"
I didn't ask questions. I just got a double.
Oh,
It's like the
you-
biggest thing, I
double,
think.
double.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh,
definitely.
you were a first-timer.
I was.
You
I
were
didn't.
one-
And I didn't do animal style either. I'll save that for the next trip. But I savored the original style, and I enjoyed it thoroughly.
Did anybody do animal style?
Nobody ventured there.
Nobody.
Okay.
I don't
No.
think
No,
so.
we were going fairly straight.
I'm afraid to
So-
ask what animal style was.
Well,
or
you,
is,
you got to
or
look it up
could
on
be.
Google. I don't know if I'm at liberty to speak publicly about this because
It's
Yeah, I think
secrets.
it's-
it's on the secret menu.
Okay.
You don't want to
so-
clear your
I don't
browser
know.
history.
Yeah, it's one of those. So anyway, we're sitting there eating these burgers, excited, and we're like taking our first few bites, and here comes the manager. I think we're in trouble, and she pulls out from behind her back. She has in both hands. There's something. There's like 3 of the In-N-Out Burger hats, and then like 10 stickers, and she's like,
awesome.
"Welcome to In-N-Out Burger. Is this one of the first times here?" And I told them, blah blah blah, and I've been there before, but some of these guys. So she's like, gave us all the hats, so we all
What'd
had
you
to wear
trade
them.
for that?
Just smiles, and she gave us all stickers, and then we took selfies with the stickers,
Yep.
and
Nice.
all proud, posted it on Facebook, and I'm surprised at how many likes that photo got. You post the photo of you're like on the big stage in front of the big crowd, and the light show's perfect, and it gets like 5 likes, and then you post a photo of you eating a burger in Texas, and it goes viral. The mysteries of Facebook and the internet.
No
and,
doubt.
those algorithms.
No doubt. That's kind of like the joke he told last week. It's like, if you don't tell it, then people won't tune in to listen to it, So you got to tell it.
No, but
Because
that goes to show. That's one of the reasons this show is successful. It's fun to see what's happening behind the scenes with bands like that.
Right.
It's cool to see them live. It's one of the great experience. But how cool is it to be
Right.
next to them eating In-N-Out Burger?
Right.
And really, that whole trip down there and back, we left. It was just a one-off. So it was a gig that, the plan was, we got that gig. We'll book some other gigs around it. And then we got busy. Birdfest came. And then it's
Right.
like, we got this one gig in Dallas. So we ran down there, drove to Oklahoma on the Thursday night, and then got a hotel room, then finished the way into Dallas, and then came back on the Saturday, got back Saturday night. So we were gone, 2 or 3 days, really.
I've gone to Sullivan for Lion's Choice, but to Dallas for In-N-Out's ridiculous. I'm just going to put that out there.
Well, we worked a gig in, too.
Oh,
Our
you did.
excuse
That's
was,
right, I forgot.
we have a gig.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
that's a damn good excuse to go get yourself an In-N-Out
A
burger
gig,
in
animal
Dallas.
style.
So awesome.
Yeah.
We believe you, Jimmy.
I have
Did
the
you have-
pictures to prove it.
Okay, I was just going to say, do you have pictures of the gig, actually, or just the In-N-Out burger?
Both. we have
Both.
we have because we were worried someone was going to call us out. So
Check the
then I
time.
There
actually
you go.
booked a gig.
Check the
Yeah.
timestamp on
Yeah,
those
I'm
pictures.
thinking that too.
Yeah,
Where'd you pull this
Animal
from?
style. Come on.
Well,
No, we videotaped the
Is
show.
that
We still
the one
video-
with the orange collar or the little orange flag around it?
Well, if Mohawk remembers it, it happened. I guarantee it.
oh
There you
yeah,
go.
I remember.
Are we getting down where we shouldn't be going? When is it time for jokes, man?
No, we do that at the top of the hour,
Okay, the
man.
top of the
No,
hour.
no,
Almost there.
everyone
Okay.
should stand by for
Right.
jokes. Well, I did bring in some live swag. Maybe we should play a song.
Yeah.
All right.
What first? Let's do. is White Rabbit queued up? It's the shorter one of the two.
Yes, it is.
Okay, what this one is, I'm going to, next week, we do the show every week. We have different guests. Next week, one of the musical guests is going to be Molly Adamson, who used to be a member of the Schwag, and she would sing. And she's going to sing a little bit and tell us of her adventures of the summer. But we have a recording of her singing the song White Rabbit with the Schwag.
Okay.
Because this is one of the curveball songs that we would play. So the Schwag with Molly Adamson, White Rabbit, Jefferson Airplane.
Let's do it after our break.
Okay.
Oh, whatever you got to
Yeah,
do.
let's do our break and then come back. There'll be a liner and we'll be back with the Schwag and
Okay.
White Rabbit. There
Perfect.
you go. All right.
However we got to do it. It's all.
Are you ready to rock? Rock and roll radio.
I can't understand you with all that distortion.
Oh, sorry. Rock and roll radio. Hey kid, 92.9.
One pill makes you larger, and one pill makes you small. And the ones that mother gives you don't do anything at all. Colors, she's 10 feet tall. And if you go chasing rabbits, and you know you're gonna fall, tell 'em a gun smoking caterpillar has given you the cord. Call Alice, she's just small. When men on the chessboard get up and tell you where to go, and you just had some kind of mushroom, and your mind isn't moving along. Call Alice, I think she'll know. When logic and proportion have fallen softly dead, and the white line is talking backwards, and the red wings are with her head. Remember what the doorbell said.
Oh, yeah. That was the Schwag live at the Castle Theater.
And Molly.
And the Schwag with Molly Adamson at the Castle Theater in Bloomington, Illinois. Molly will be on the radio show next week.
She'll be a peace of mind, too.
That's right. Now tell us all about that. She's going to be coming for the radio show next Wednesday, which is the 29th or something?
Yeah, she'll be here on the 30th at Peace of Mind doing a solo show over there, kind of like you do sometimes at the store. I always make sure I'm there for those. It's going to be pretty good. May 30th. I honestly, I'm ashamed to say I don't know the exact time.
It might be like 4 in the
But
afternoon.
we
I think
open.
she said 4. I was just there this afternoon. She told me about it.
We open at 10, so just feel free to come in and hang out all day, though.
Right. Yeah. I think it's 4 o'clock. So Molly Adamson will be here on Wednesday on the radio show, where we're going to, her and me are going to play some songs together.
Awesome.
And because we've sang a lot, she toured around in the Schwag for a solid year and a half. For it. It's hard for grown men to keep up with the Schwag. We've been through a number of musicians. Some guys. We had this one guitar player that lasted like 6 months, and he crashed and burned and ended up in Tulsa recently. But he's doing well these days. So that's another story. But Molly did great, and she'll be a peace of mind on the following Thursday, on the day after.
Yeah, you bet.
And then. She's also going to be in St. Louis this weekend, because we should plug the show this weekend. Mohawk, how could we let this whole hour go by? And
Oh,
that's
my
how everyone
gosh.
was going on.
That's right.
I feel bad. Here's what.
So what's going on?
This weekend is Memorial Day weekend, right? Now, for years, we've...
Thank McFly. Thank McFly.
I'm back on. I'm going to let everyone know. The Schwag traditionally he's played every Memorial Day weekend doing a Schwag Stock or a Schwag Fest. Past 3 years, we've done Schwag Fest at Ballpark Village in St. Louis on Memorial Day weekend. Well, we had it booked, and this year, a couple months ago, we realized, holy cow, there's a ball game at Busch Stadium, so we can only play Ballpark Village when there's not a ball game, because when there's a ball game, there's a lot of people there. We've done that too, but to do the Schwag Fest, it's a big hoop-de-doo because there's a lot of bands and everything. So this year, what we decided to do is we're taking over the Mad Art Gallery in the Soulard area of St. Louis, and it's a big special event facility. And on May 25th, the Schwag's going to play, but also we have a Pink Floyd tribute band called This One's Pink. They're from Peoria, Illinois. They recently played at Birdfest and really did a great job. They really nailed the Pink Floyd material. But that's not all. We're also going to have the Dancing Bear Performance Art Troupe doing their hula hooping and flowing. They're going to have a flow case showcase where they do a half hour where the girls get up there and do their thing. And they'll be flowing around through the whole night. But then there's this facility. It's called the Mad Art Gallery. It was built in 1937. It was originally a police station. Right in Soulard, right next to what is now the Busch Brewery, Anheuser-Busch Brewery. It shares the parking lot with the visitor center anyway. But it's got a big parking lot, and we've done events there before. But some of the old jail cells are still in there.
Yes.
And in the old jail cells, we're going to set up another stage that's going to feature DJs. So
Yes.
Mohawk, tell us about that.
Yes. So right when you go through another set of doors, there's, or actually it's where you come in originally, and you can order drinks around there. But you'll see, some lights and smoke, and you'll hear the noise, like some bass coming from. There's a jail cell that you walk off into, and there's I think about 4 cells.
It's a whole cell block.
Oh yeah, you can walk in and sit down and pretend like you're locked up there. You can't actually close the cell doors though. I don't think.
Yeah, they got them stuck to where they're open. But we've set up a DJ booth
right
in there.
Yeah, we've got DJ Seems Legit and myself,
the
Mohawk. Yes.
The Mohawk.
And I'm bringing along some friends with me, Michi Murda and Joe Blush. They're from also St. Louis. So.
4 DJs, and when we say DJs, we're not talking spinning the top 40.
Nope, it's a lot of original production and underground music that you normally can't listen to.
Oh, very cool.
Dubstep, glitch, psytrance, anything like that.
A lot of dubstep.
All right, and there'll be a light show.
Yeah,
in that
I'm gonna throw some lights up in there.
We're gonna fog it up, so it's gonna be an extravaganza. Now we've done it there a few times before, but first time we played there, it was like a wedding. The second time we played there, it was like it was my mom's memorial. Yeah, because this place is used for like weddings and
So you played a
corporate
wedding?
events. We do 2 or 3 weddings a year. They're usually super cool weddings, and the wedding that we did there was really cool.
Very
they had
cool.
L Dub playing out in the courtyard.
What?
Yeah,
The courtyard is awesome.
The courtyard is awesome. This is a really cool facility, and we got hired to do this wedding. We pulled up, and this was like 3 years ago. I'm like, what is this place? Holy cow. And it's right in Soulard, which I played in Soulard for years and just never ventured right there or really looked. And at the time, it was also a restaurant by day, and they sold barbecue pork and stuff, and they called it the Capitalist Pig. And upon closer research, I found that the owner is a former St. Louis police officer, and he owns the building. Really cool guy named Ron, and he's an amazing chef who cooks amazing barbecue. So that's the play on word, Capitalist Pig, because he's
cool.
a former, and it's barbecue, and he's trying to sell food and rent space to make some money. So, all right. So
I'm sure it made for
getting-
some cool T-shirts too.
Yeah. So that's this Saturday. It's the Schwag, Dancing Bear Tribe. This one's Pink Floyd tribute band. 4 DJs, and it's $25. Doors it's 7. Show at 8. It goes till about 1 in the morning. And $25, that's a deal, because these days, if you want to see a Pink Floyd tribute by themselves, it's $25.
And can they get tickets online?
You can get tickets online. You pay a service fee there. There'll be plenty of tickets at the door. People can come up. They can get more information on our website, theschwag.com, or on our Facebook page. which, just type in the swag and look up Facebook. Well, we're at the top of the hour. Should we do another break here, Steve?
We can do that.
All right, let's do that, and then we got some more music coming out of that.
That sounds good. Let's take a quick break. Your weather's going to be brought to you by your area McDonald's.
You are listening to the Jimmy Tebeau Show on KKID 92.9 FM, Salem, Rolla.
Yes, we are back. Yes.
We're live. 21,000 watts of power coming across the airwaves. KKID. 21 years now, right, Steve? 21
Absolutely.
years on the air.
Yep.
Classic rock format.
Right.
From day one, right?
Well, no, not
Oh, you were
necessarily.
country at one time?
Well, not necessarily country. It was supposed to be an all-American mix, and we named ourselves K-Kid, the Outlaw Radio.
Right.
All right, and the phones literally rang off the hook for classic rock requests. And I'm a KC baby from St. Louis. So it's like, well, that's a good fit
play
for
some
me.
Skinner. Well, if you play some Leonard Skinner, you're kind of right in the middle there.
But I mean, yeah, but it was Eagles, and I mean, there for a while because I mean, from 1976 up until '98, it was a Christian radio station.
Oh,
So-
the 92.9?
It was actually 96. See that switch, that little.
Oh, I see it.
96. It was 95.9, and then in 1999 we got a power increase, but we had to swap frequencies with the guy down in Farmington, which is down in Frederick. So anyway, that's where we got the 92.9 and did the. But
now the studio's in Rolla, the transmitter's in Salem.
Right.
And you cover about a 50-mile radius.
Yep, pretty much so. About 14 counties here
And
now.
then this show we video record, edit, and then put on the KKID Facebook page,
Yep.
Swag Facebook page, the Swag YouTube channel.
Yep.
And at this point of the show, you know what happens.
Comedy time.
It's time to tell some jokes. Comedy time. Jokes. And we found it's best to go ahead and apologize before we go into this section.
Right.
So we apologize because these are going to be really bad jokes that we found on the internet, but they're entertaining. We didn't write them. We just regurgitate them at will.
Right.
I'm sorry.
Don't shoot the messenger.
Yeah.
I'm really sorry.
So, no, these are some
I'm not
prolific questions and just some things to think about here. What do you call a fake noodle? An impasta.
Oh,
What do you call an elephant that doesn't matter? An irrelevant.
oh,
He's irrelevant. Okay. What did the grape... Here it is. What did the grape do when he got stepped on?
wind.
He let out a little whine.
Oh, goodness.
He let out a little whine. You guessed it.
And then he jammed.
Here's a big statement.
His jelly just don't shake like that.
The shovel was a groundbreaking invention. That's a big statement. Get it? The shovel was a groundbreaking invention.
Good one.
Literally.
That's right.
I don't think that's a joke. That's a
No,
fact.
that's-
And it's a funny...
Fun fact.
Okay, I've never gone to a gun range before. I decided to give it a shot.
Oh, no. Pulled the trigger on that one.
I'm trying to keep them clean. Mohawk told some jokes for the first time last week.
Yep.
And me and Steve, we're live on the radio, and our eyes were getting this big. And we were, trembling, and we were a little nervous. It's like, did he just say semen?
I was talking about, on the ocean. Like I was
Hey.
telling a story.
Oh, like you're on a ship.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The semen on the
Navy
others.
veteran here.
It
Navy
gets
veteran.
really
You're a
complicated.
seaman.
See, so-
Beautiful. So,
It's out of context.
Mine aren't that as dirty this week. I'm keeping it more PG-13.
Oh, they're
think.
not as dirty.
Yeah, but what's
Yeah.
his PG-13?
Well, the one joke last week
Really?
involved masturbation.
Yeah,
I
it
think.
did. It did. That one's pretty intense.
Well, what do you got this week? You got one?
Yeah, I got one. I got a couple actually.
Okay.
A man walks into a zoo. The only animal in the entire zoo is a dog. It's a Shih Tzu.
it's a shit suit.
It's not a very good zoo. That's a terrible zoo.
Not a very good.
It's
a
a very
small
bad
dog.
zoo.
This one. Okay, so what do you call a man with no shins? Tony.
Oh, no.
Tony.
Tony.
Oh,
There's
like
no
a
shin.
toe, there's no shin.
That was a zoo joke.
All right, this one's a little better. What's the difference between a dirty bus stop and a lobster with breast implants?
What?
I have no idea.
What's the difference between a dirty bus stop and a lobster with breast implants? One's a crusty bus station, and one's a busty crustacean.
Oh my! Oh, that was a good one. That was a good one.
I said bring in bad jokes. That was good. That was too good. You see, we're raising the bar on quality.
Dang!
People are going to tune in next
week.
week,
Go too soon.
and we're going to go. The ratings are going to drop right like the FCC.
There's ratings.
Yeah,
Do we have ratings?
I don't know. I think people.
Are you
listening.
asking me? We're in Rolla, Missouri, you guys.
Oh, okay.
What ratings do we have?
4 tomatoes. I don't know how-
Ooh, maybe we could win the most popular radio station by the Rolla Daily News' like best
on Forum Drive. Best
Yeah.
radio station on Forum Drive.
Okay, I got a story.
Okay.
I'm going to tell a story here. Several men were in the locker room of a gym when a cell phone on a bench rang and a man put it on speaker and began to talk. Everyone else in the room stopped to listen. The man says, "Hello." A woman says, "Hi, honey, it's me. Are you at the club?" The man says, "Yes." The woman says, "I'm at the shops now and found this beautiful leather coat. It's only $2,000. Is it okay to buy it?" The man's like, "Sure, go ahead. Yeah, if you like it that much." The woman's like, "I also stopped by the Lexus dealership and saw the new models. I saw one I really liked." "Well, how much was it?" $90,000. "Okay, but for that price, I want it with all the options." The woman's like, "Oh, great, one more thing. I was just talking to Janie and found out that that house I wanted last year is back on the market. They're only asking $980,000 for it." The man's like, "Well, then go ahead and make an offer for $900,000. They'll probably take it. If not, we can go the extra $80,000 if that's what you really want." The woman's like, "Okay, I'll see you later. I love you so much." The man says, "Bye, I love you too." The man hung up. The other men in the locker room were staring at him in astonishment, their mouths wide open. He turned to them and asked, "Does anyone know whose phone this is?"
No.
Now that one, I'm
Somebody's
like,
gonna have a surprise when he gets home.
I was
Look at
reading
that,
that
though.
story earlier. I'm like, is everyone going to be able to hang out for the end of this? You know, because it really doesn't. There's the little twist at the end. That's good. You got one?
Yeah, I got one for you. All right, so there's these 2 pot plants sitting at a bar, right? One looks at the other and he says, "Man, we should be legal." And the other one's like, "We should be, man. We don't cause any harm. We're good to everybody." And they hear somebody snickering down at the other end of the bar, and they look down there, and there's these 2 Viagra pills. Pot plant looks at the Viagra pills. He says, "What's the problem, man? You don't think we should be legal?" Viagra pill says, "No, man. We're hard on drugs." Gotcha.
That was good.
Gotcha.
It
I like
was
that.
almost dirty.
Again, I'm sorry.
No, we
Sorry, not
apologize
sorry.
to everyone before
That's
we
right.
started.
Yeah,
That's right.
we got that out of the
You
way.
got that out.
And you know where I got that from is I had this friend, I can't remember his name, it's Lake the Ozarks, and we'd party, and he would usually get pretty drunk, and towards the end of the night he would say or do something a little embarrassing, and then he'd apologize the next day, and then we allowed him to be in the circle the next party time or whatever. But he got to where one time he came in and he had already had a drink or two, and he just kind of turned the music down, and there was a room full of people. He's like, "All right, everybody, I just want to go ahead and apologize right now before we get going too far in the night, because I'm probably going to say something stupid. So I'm sorry. I love all you guys." Woo! And then he turned up the music. I was like, I should do that on the radio show and before the joke section.
There you go.
Because then
There you go.
if you offend someone, it's like, well, we already apologized. We love you.
Always pre-apologize at the party. That's the lesson.
On that, really? Is that a common thing?
I don't think so. I think you just made it up.
I liked it.
It sounded
Well,
good.
if anyone else likes that, they can start a party off like that with their friends too. I don't think it actually excuses you from doing anything really crazy.
No.
You know, it's like, well, I apologize. Well, it's like, wait a minute, dude, that was crossing.
I don't
can't
drink
really
alcohol,
get
so I don't even think I can use that.
I know. I hardly drink anymore
I apologize
at all.
for what I'm about to
I've
do
had a
after
few
I
shameful
smoke.
nights. I must admit, it's been a while since I've even been hungover. But on that note, I got a few dirty jokes for the comedy section here. Now we're going to have a subcategory. Dirty jokes. Maybe we should shift that. Okay,
Oh,
ready?
yeah, I forgot. Yeah, go for
You
it.
ready? Here we go.
Dirty jokes. Dirty jokes. Dirty jokes. Dirty jokes.
Can we tell dirty jokes on the air? We've never done this. Well, actually,
What was
Mohawk crossed the line.
Crossed the line already.
Ceiling's
the draw-
broken.
Yeah. So, and, okay, what's the difference between a G spot and a golf ball? A guy will actually search for the golf ball.
And take 20 minutes to do it.
That's a lot of
There
golf.
are rules.
That's a lot of
There
time.
is a G spot.
Whatever happened to that kind of foreplay?
Man.
Okay, we're
Let me
apologizing.
get that putter out, baby.
Again, I'm sorry.
That dirty joke has carried on.
Oh, anyone out there listening, feel free to share these jokes.
Call
These
in.
are
Okay.
these, you know.
Okay.
Let's say
The
sorry.
show-
that
it-
might be dangerous.
The show, yeah, be careful where you share these particular jokes. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, that was
that's
good.
a
I
streak.
liked it.
Yeah, you like that one?
Yeah, I'd hit it again. Oh my gosh. Okay, here's one. What does the sign on an out-of-business brothel say? Beat it. We're closed.
Oh, no. Too soon.
Just beat it. Okay. What's the difference between a tire and a 300? Oh, wait a minute. This one's pretty. I don't know if I should read.
Whoa.
Okay.
People are Googling that right now.
Oh, we're already getting calls.
Yep,
It's
there it
the
is.
FCC.
I shouldn't
They were
have
getting
said
complaints. Should we put them on the air?
No.
here we go.
Good morning, K-Kid.
Yeah, you looking for dirty jokes?
You got one?
Is it radio
Yeah.
safe?
Now, it has to be a fairly clean, dirty joke.
We got a clean one.
All right.
Okay. What is it?
What do you call a blonde with a runny nose?
I don't know.
All filled up.
Oh, no.
Thank you,
See
caller.
what you did?
I'm
Oh
sorry.
my gosh.
I opened that can of worms. I'm sorry. We do appreciate the love. Okay.
Just goes to show you what kind of listeners we got out there.
That's great. That's great.
What more dirty jokes do you have? I'm sure they're waiting.
Yeah.
On the edge of their seat.
I'm really debating whether I want to say this. Okay, I'm going there, folks.
Okay.
Since we're getting
Come
calls.
on. Come on.
What's the difference between a tire and 365 used condoms? One's a good year, the other's a great year.
Oh man.
You might have got a sponsor out of that one.
I
Trojan
don't know.
or something.
Is that-
I don't know.
that's a pretty
there
good
you
one.
go.
I don't know. Okay, why does Santa Claus have such a big sack? He only comes once a year.
Oh, no.
Oh, that was bad. I'm sorry. What's the difference between a pregnant woman and a light bulb? You can unscrew a light bulb.
That's not dirty. That's another
I'm
fact.
sorry. These are really bad. I did apologize earlier. Okay, I got one more.
Okay,
Should
good.
we do that? And then that's it, and we're done.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't wanna
I'm going to
leave it
end
on
on
the
this.
last
So we
one.
need some big finale music, big cheers, and do you have fireworks? What's the sound of releasing doves and balloons?
Firework and
What is
noteworthy jokes.
What is the sound of
Fluttering.
confetti being thrown from, how they used to
Cannons
do
going off.
whatever happened to the old ticker tape parades?
Right,
You know?
exactly.
I guess
You know.
people are too health conscious or environment. Okay, here we go. You ready? Drum? Do you have a drum roll?
No, that doesn't work. I got to build one. Sorry.
Okay.
That was close. That was
It's
close.
just a phlegm.
What do you call a lesbian dinosaur?
Oh, I know this one.
A lickalotopus.
It is.
Yes. Hilarious.
We probably need to take a break for our
Let's take a
final
break, and
sponsors.
Drink some Listerine. And
we love you guys. So that's
Okay, now you
that-
said you got something lined up you wanted to play?
Yeah. So, well, I want to apologize for the joke section one more time. We love you guys. We're just having fun. So we don't mean to pick on anyone, but we're having fun. We hope you enjoyed that, and we'll have some more jokes next week. We were going to have a comedian on the show this week. I had a guy lined up, and he had babysitter issues and couldn't make it, so maybe he'll come in again. So yeah, let's take a commercial break, and then we'll come back, and I've got some tunes that we want to play, but I'll set that up when we come back.
All right, let's do it. We got 6:18. Time to take a look at your weather. Brought to you by Napa Auto Parts.
What does this have to do with what you're talking about?
just back off, anchor person.
Hey, kid. Here we go.
We're back. Yes. You know what? It's the Jimmy Tebeau Show,
Jimmy Tebeau show.
and I'm in a band called The Swag, right? 28 years. And we do this thing called Swag Stock, which we started 22 years ago. And we number them. And this summer we're doing Swag Stock 48. And you'd think I'd be plugging that show that over and over throughout this whole radio show, and now I'm just now talking about it. But it's something that everyone should know about because it's a great festival. It's happening at the Shrine Camp in Waynesville, Missouri on July 26th and 27th. And the Swag plays both nights. Now, we do a lot of Grateful Dead songs, and we mix it up and do a number of other things. We have the Dancing Bear Tribe Performance Art Group up there with us. Now we're having the K Brothers come down from Columbia, Missouri. They're playing the whole weekend with us. The Driftways Reggae Band is coming in. And Waynesville, that's just not too far from Rolla. It's in the listening area here, just past Fort Leonard Wood down Highway 44 west. And it's just a mile off the highway. It's a nice big campground. They have pavilions, 2 shower houses, bathrooms. And last year we did an event there, and it went great. People were camping out for the weekend, and music all weekend long. Tickets in advance are only $60. You can get them online at theshwag.com or on our Facebook page. Just type in The Swag on Facebook and check us out. We have about 36,000 people that follow us on there.
Amazing.
Yeah, well, we've been a band so long, and we've been around here and there, and we're still in the game. But this Swag Stock thing has gotten quite organized. You know, we're partnered up with the Shriners organization because it is the Shrine Camp, and there is about 90 members there. And we're part of the proceeds, part of the ticket sales go to the Shriners Children's Hospitals. And they'll be selling beer there as well. They have a liquor license, so all the beer sales will also go to help. So it's Swag Stock. It's for a good cause. It started as a small thing with just the Swag playing a one-night thing in a campground.
Right.
1997, I believe it was, down in, well, the first one was actually in Columbia, Missouri at a little campground called It'll Do Campground, which wasn't much of a campground.
It'll do.
Yeah, then we moved down to Lesterville to Bearcat Getaway, and then we partnered up with the Bass Brothers for a while at Ozark Outdoors,
right.
For 4 or 5 years. And then we did Bagnell Dam also, like the Ozarks, then the whole run at Camp Zoe for 8 years down in Salem. And now it's back. We're over there at the Shrine Camp in Waynesville, Missouri. And speaking of the Swag, we're going to play some Swag. I brought in some pre-recorded music, and this was from a couple years ago when we played at the Granada Theater in Lawrence, Kansas. It's a nice venue. There's about 400 people here this night. And our former guitarist, Daryl Lay, popped in because he lives in Lawrence, and he dropped out of the band some years ago because he developed cancer or something. It was just hard for him to be on the road as much as we wanted. So it was one of those things where here's a band member that wasn't kicked out or fired, but kind of gracefully bowed out. But is a guy that we use for fill-ins and stuff. But when we're in Lawrence, Kansas, he sits in, and he's a great singer. So this song will feature him, and it's not actually a Grateful Dead song. It's something by Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young called "Long Time Gone," and I think Tom Jones even covered it at one point. But this is kind of our live version of it. So the Swag with "Long Time Gone." Let's hear it.
It's been a long time coming, going to be a long time gone. Yes, it appears to be a long, appears to be a long, appears to be a long time. Such a long, 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 long time before the dawn. Turn any corner, sooner or later you got to hear what the people say. 'Cause something been going on around here that surely won't stand the light of day. And it appears to be long, appears to be long, appears to be long. Time, such a long, 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 long time before the dawn. You've got to speak out against the madness. Speak your mind if you can and if you dare. But don't you try to get yourself elected. 'Cause if you do, oh God, have to cut your hair. And it appears to be long, appears to be long, appears to be long. Time, such a long, 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 long time before the dawn. It's been a long time coming, going to be a long time gone. But you know, they say the darkest hours just before the dawn. And it appears to be long, appears to be long, Yes, it does. Appears to be a long time. Such a long, 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 long time before the dawn. Joint was jumping, going round and round. I said reeling and a rocking, what a crazy sound. You know they never stopped rocking till the moon went down. You know they sounded so sweet, I had to take a chance. I rose out of my seat now and started clapping my hands, started moving my feet now. I just had to dance. Oh, they never stopped rocking, going around and round. I said reeling and rocking, what a crazy sound. You know they never stop rocking till the moon went o'clock, that old place was packed. The front door, it was locked now. That whole place was packed. But when the police knocked, them old doors flew back. Flew back, 'cause they never stopped rocking. Round and round. Said feeling and rocking, what a crazy sound. They never stop rocking till the moon went down. stop rocking. They never, 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 never. To the moon, to the moon, to the moon, till you know they never stop rocking. Going round and round and round and round, reeling and rocking. What a crazy sound. You know they never stop rocking.
The Swag Live. Very nice. You know, that was the Swag playing at the Granada Theater in Lawrence, Kansas a couple years ago, featuring Daryl Lay on lead vocals, but also on that second tune. It started out with Long Time Gone by Crosby, Stills, and Nash, but then at the end there was... what was that song? It was a song by the Grateful Dead. It was a different song anyway, but it melded into a jam with Brody Buster on harmonica. That was the harmonica that was blown. Now, Brody Buster is a Lawrence, Kansas native there, but at age 5 he was on the Johnny Carson show playing, and he studied with a lot of great harmonica players, but he's still in Lawrence, and he's a one-man band these days. He tours around, sings, plays guitar, harmonica, and does a lot of blues festivals. Sometimes he even goes over to Europe and does it. But when we come to town, if he's in town also, he texts me. He's like, "Hey, Jimmy, I'm in town. Can I jam?" I'm like, "Of course." Why are you even asking?
Is that the way he talks?
Sometimes it is. I had to think, why did I make that voice for Brody? No, he's real cool. We met him when he was like 16 years old.
Wow.
And his dad would bring him into the Grand Emporium in Kansas City when we used to play there. So we've got some history. And he had played some of the early Schwag stocks where we're bringing this young and up-and-coming harmonica player on stage.
Wow, very cool.
Now he's probably in his early 30s.
Wow.
You know?
Wow.
And he's got the one-man band shtick. He's got a couple of kids himself now.
Isn't that amazing?
So we've kind of always known him and worked him in the tunes. And with him, you don't have to throw him a blues tune. He can play over anything. He can, like a lot of harmonica players need that blues jam, and they can really shine. Like me, if I tried playing harmonica, I would need something in blues. But to do something in a major key, like Brody likes to do Dear Prudence with us, which is, you know, that happy Beatles tune in D major or C major. He can do it in either key. He's like, I got all 12 keys. And sometimes he's like, I got 11. One of the harps broke, because he'll blow those things to where it's like, they don't explode, but some of the reeds break, and he won't get all the notes.
Right.
He's like this one.
Right.
He's got some sort of sponsorship with somebody, owner or something, but he gets some sent to him, but not as fast as he can do it. So he still ends up buying a lot.
Wow.
There's times we've had to, but.
That's some lung power there.
So the Schwag, yeah, we need to share the Schwag, and this is the part of the show where we do the Techno Report. We call it the Techno Report because we started the show with the Left Wing Agenda and went political and talked about, man, that went deep. Let's reflect on that. Holy cow. It started out with a city council member was here, and we had the journalist here from the Phelps County Focus, a city council member from Ward 1, discussing recent city council meeting and about dispensaries and marijuana. But here we are at the end of the show talking about the local techno report. Now, why we do this is a type of music that a number of people aren't commonly exposed to, but it's a culture that's out there. And to give us the update, here is dubstep DJ Mohawk.
Hello. Techno Report here. And I'd like to start by saying that, we talked about, I guess, this Saturday that we're going to be having the DJ stage for the Mad Art Gallery show. And we have myself, Seems Legit, I'm bringing some friends along with me, Michi Murda and Joe Blush. And we've been spending a lot of time together in my free time lately, and these guys have been working on a bunch of music lately and kind of falling back in the groove. It's something that we've been doing for the past, I guess 6-7 years. I don't know. It's been a long time.
So you guys create these sounds.
Yeah.
You guys are producing the sounds. So you're not taking like when I think DJs, when I started going to raves and such, it was 2 Techniques 1200 turntables with vinyl on it.
Well, sometimes it still is, or it's a mixture of both. But right.
But then the way I understood is those DJs were bringing in stuff that was cuts from other people that produced them, and then they would pick them and combine them and speed them up and slow them down.
Right.
But then over time, there's people that are also producers and DJs. So you guys would fall more in that category of making the sounds and then putting them together as entertainment.
Yeah, everything from scratch, from drums and cymbals and all that stuff,
So in Cell Block H this weekend at the Mad Heart Gallery on Saturday, May 25th, showtime is doors at 7, showtime 8 p.m. to 1 a.m. Pink Floyd tribute band, Grateful Dead tribute band, The Schwag, and all these wonderful 4 DJs. Do you have a cut from one of the DJs?
Yes, I do. And my buddy Michi has been producing a lot lately, and he sent me this fresh one. It's only a clip. I only got like a minute of it, but it's a
little taste,
brand new. So here we go. It's called Razor, I think. Hellraiser.
Obsolete. Irrelevant. In an age when desire has become amplified, but where lust can be sated electronically, we need something more. We need something more. Cut that out. Technology may have advanced. Sin remains.
That was
Michi Murda, yes.
So he created that sounds, and that's real bass heavy. So that's more on the dubstep flavor of things.
Probably hardcore dubstep, or the heavier side of dubstep. There's different shades of it, and I like them all.
A lot of womp womp.
A lot of womps, a lot of distortion and heavy metal almost. Yes.
So he's one of the DJs.
I'm waiting for E.T. to come out.
It's interesting to watch people dance to it, and you kind of get sucked into it, and you're kind of waving back and forth, maybe not even in time. But do you have another taste to anyone else? You had something from one of your friends, didn't you?
Oh yeah, I've got another buddy of mine. He will not be there this weekend, but he's a close friend. He's a close friend of ours, and it's some groovy stuff. It's also a collaboration with a buddy of ours, Richie August from Chicago. This is Bomber and Richie August. Come on.
Don't just stand there. Come on.
Come on. Come on.
Yes.
Come on. There you go. So one more time to this Saturday night, right?
This Saturday night.
That's just a sample of what's going to be
sample
happening.
of what's happening.
Yes.
And that's in one of the side rooms. That's not the main shebang. That's in one of the side rooms. Now in the big room, we're going to have it decked out with a big production. Monty Henderson from MJ Sound right here in Rolla is bringing up a truckload of lighting and sound. And we're going to set up a lot of stuff in the main room, a big high-fidelity PA system. We're going to set it up a day before and finally tune it. We're going to hang a lot of intelligent lighting, on
ceiling,
stage.
Right? We're going to do some stuff with the ceiling. This is an event facility, so it's got the type of ceiling where you can hang different lighting fixtures and stuff. It's not like a basic drop ceiling. It's like almost like a lighting grid. So we're going to hang intelligent lighting around the room, and we're doing a video wall. The guys from Light Lab are coming in and bringing their video wall. They did Birdfest recently with us. They're going to be at Schwagstock also, but this is going to be an inside version. The Pink Floyd tribute band, this one's Pink, they're playing with us at 8 o'clock. They're going around 8 to 10 o'clock. They have a full video, full show that goes along with the music that they play. And it's a pretty neat presentation. So the video wall will be there for that. And then in this other room, we got 4 DJs playing some womp womp dubstep.
And if you didn't hear earlier, those 4 rooms are actually part of the jail cells.
Yeah, this building is a former police station from 1937. We're calling it the cell block DJ stage because you go in there and there are jail cells and you can dance in the jail cells where people used to be incarcerated. You know, I think it was like a smaller city jail.
So do you have some orange jumpsuits that you can rent out? You know, think about it. Think about it. Think about it.
Jailhouse Rock.
$20 a pop, baby. Come on.
Oh. Now there is.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah,
maybe
that's cell block H that we're talking about. Now there is another jail cell that's across the hallway. That's just one individual larger cell.
Yeah,
and in there, from what I've been told, is they're going to set up a photo booth.
Oh,
so you could go in there and get your picture taken in the jail cell.
That's cool.
With a fisheye lens or something. But it's a big hoop-de-doo event with DJs, multiple bands, multiple rooms. There's even an outdoor area, and it's down in the Soulard area of St. Louis. May 25th, Memorial Day weekend. Doors at 7, show at 8. Plenty of tickets available.
There you go. Now, you said the capacity is about 600, so...
It is, yeah.
If you want a ticket, you better get there, though, for sure.
You know what I noticed, too, looking around, you know, as a promoter in a band, you book a show, and then after you book the show, or before you book the show, you kind of look what else is going on in town. Like, hey, what's happening at the big club across town? Is there a free event? Is there something? And it's Memorial Day weekend. We traditionally played that weekend because there wasn't much going on.
Right.
And I looked, and 4 of the big rooms in St. Louis, there's nothing happening at all. Nothing advertised on that Saturday, which is unusual.
Now, they don't do anything down at the Arch right now, do they?
There's not much that I could find.
Yeah.
You know,
okay.
if there is, it's not. Yeah. I know they used to, but a lot of events aren't happening. So we're doing a little something. You know, it's an indoor event. Even if it rains, we're going to be high and dry. We're in a big room, multiple rooms.
Absolutely, that's what's nice.
Oh, the other cool thing about this is there's going to be food. The guy that owns the place is an amazing chef, and he's going to make a variety of food and have a menu available. So you could get food while you're there, full bar.
Wow!
And, you got to be 21 to drink, of course, but
Absolutely.
The event is all ages to get into. In general,
there you go.
You know,
there you go.
But I've even seen dogs at this venue. Not that I know.
You know what?
Not that I'd encourage you to bring your dog. Though.
Well, I mean, you know, the way
it'll be crowded.
The way that service dogs are now and stuff like that. You know, I mean, if you have a service dog, it pretty much goes wherever you go and stuff. So, and there's not a lot in Missouri. You see a lot more of that, you know, out west and stuff. But yeah, maybe try to leave your dog at home if you can actually, you know, be without your dog. You know, most service dogs are because people have, like, you know, separation anxiety and stuff like that when they leave their house.
Right. I know. So that's when you want your dog, I guess.
Yeah.
I get it.
That's why I bring my dog to work, Jimmy.
I know. Your dog's right here.
No, I took him home.
He was here earlier.
Yeah, he was here earlier.
Where's Mister?
I'm teasing. He's not a service dog. I've never registered Mister as a service dog.
No, you don't take him to Walmart, though.
No, and when and now this time of year, obviously he doesn't travel much when I have to do errands because he ain't going to stay in the vehicle when it's hot outside and stuff. So be aware of that when you're traveling with your animals.
Long travels,
unless you're down in Texas and going to go animal style.
On the In-N-Out Burger?
Yeah.
We're going to talk about that again.
Next time.
No, we've had some great food on the road over the years. It's like when we go...
Crab legs the previous couple weekends ago, that was amazing. And then the In-N-Out was unbelievable. And then I don't know what's next.
Ohio, we went to Skyline Chili. Which
that was a big highlight.
They don't have those in the St. Louis area. So, and that's some good eats right there. Big mound of shredded cheddar cheese on top. It was delicious.
There you go.
Well, we do appreciate everyone tuning in this week. It's been another fun 2 hours. They just fly by.
It does. Once you get started, it just it really does.
It goes political.
It
goes into bad jokes. There's stories. There's music. A lot of swag.
Right. Well, I tell you what. Speaking of the swag, you're down to almost the last 8 weeks before Swagstock 48 down there, and we're really looking forward to that. Looking for a good crowd down there. Come down there and help support it. It'll be actually after people can apply for their medical card and stuff like that. So
because that's on the 4th of July.
That's on the 4th of July, right?
Freedom.
Yes, freedom, freedom, and that's what it is. It's something different that we're just going to have to accept and kind of roll with the punches as it goes along and see what people approve and stuff like that. Never been really out there in your face about it as much as it's been out there in our face about it. So that's what I have to say about that.
I like it. So everyone, we hope you tune in next week. We have Molly Adamson coming in, and she's bringing her friend Maddie too, who's from South Carolina, and they're going to sing some duets in here.
Awesome.
I'm going to do some duets with Molly. There'll be a lot more live music in the studio next week.
Yep.
Which will be fun. Molly Adamson, singer, acoustic guitar player, played in the Schwag for a year and a half, has been abroad out in South Carolina doing some gigs. So she'll probably have some stories from the road.
Very cool.
This girl, we've taken her through the Redwoods in California and even to festivals in Pennsylvania. So east to west coast. Nomadic tribesmen of music we are.
That's right.
It's like a brotherhood of people and sisterhood. So it'll be fun. And in upcoming weeks, we're going to be having many more guests come back in, recurring guests.
Well, we're still waiting for Scott Fanning to pop in.
And a Tim Krusko.
Tim Krusko will be on
a
the
big
show.
one.
Yeah, him and Scott Fanning at the same time would be crazy. I don't know, but Tim Krusko, we will get you on the show.
One of these days,
we
buddy.
will.
All right.
We'll get you.
There you go.
Now, Scott Fanning's been wanting to come down every week, and I've been holding him off.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
all
so
right.
that might happen soon. It's all for the good of us. I'm like, Scott, you're going to be live on the air. We can't.
That's
I'm going to have a list of words.
Yeah, right.
All the things you
don't say this. Don't say this. Yeah, and we're going to have to work out hand signals. All right, well, thanks everyone for tuning in. We're KKID 92.9 FM. See you next week.
Have a great night.
KKID Salem Rama.